Most older men lose attraction in the first few conversations, not because of age, but because of how they behave around younger women. They become too careful, too eager, too impressed. But the men who effortlessly attract younger women all share a few specific habits. In this video, I'll break down 5 masculine frame secrets that make younger women naturally invest, pursue, and become emotionally drawn to older men. Comment, "I am the prize," if you're ready to watch till the end. Number 1. Lead the interaction. Most younger guys wait for women to decide everything. Confident older men don't do that. They naturally lead conversations, dates, and energy. Instead of asking endless questions, they set the tone. They choose the place. They move things forward confidently. That leadership creates attraction because it makes her feel safe and excited at the same time. Women notice when a man can guide an interaction without hesitation. That energy instantly separates you from insecure men. Most men do not realize how much attraction disappears the moment they start acting unsure around a younger woman, because the second she notices hesitation, she immediately starts questioning your value. And once that happens, the entire dynamic changes without you even noticing it at first, because now she starts speaking to you differently, replying differently, delaying responses, becoming unpredictable, and suddenly you are sitting there over-analyzing every small thing, wondering what changed. When the truth is, the energy changed the moment you stopped leading and started looking to her for direction and approval. And this is exactly where so many men lose themselves, because they spend their whole lives being respected at work, handling pressure, carrying responsibilities, solving problems, making difficult decisions. Yet the second an attractive younger woman enters their life, they slowly hand over all their power and start behaving like a completely different person, because attraction exposes weakness faster than almost anything else in life. And she notices every little shift in your behavior, even when you think you are hiding it well. She notices when you become too available. She notices when you suddenly clear your entire schedule for her. She notices when your mood changes based on her attention. And once she realizes your emotional state depends on her reactions, she starts losing respect, because women are drawn toward men who are grounded in themselves and disconnected from the need for constant validation. And this is why leadership matters so much, because leadership is not about controlling her. It is about controlling yourself, controlling the direction of your life, controlling your emotions, controlling your decisions, controlling your standards. And when you operate this way, your entire presence changes, because now you stop asking permission to exist, and you stop treating women like judges deciding your worth. Instead, you move through life with certainty, and women naturally respond to that, because certainty is rare and uncertainty is exhausting to be around. And this is why Stoic principles matter deeply in dating, because a Stoic man does not react emotionally every time life becomes uncomfortable. He understands that his emotions cannot lead his actions. He understands that panic creates weak decisions. He understands that desperation destroys attraction. And most importantly, he understands that his peace must never depend on another person, because once your emotional state depends on her behavior, she controls you without even trying. And many men are living exactly like this right now, checking their phones every few minutes, replaying conversations in their heads late at night, wondering why she suddenly became distant, wondering what they did wrong, trying harder, texting more, giving more attention, becoming softer, becoming easier to control. And they think this behavior will create closeness, when in reality it slowly destroys attraction, because she no longer sees a grounded man with direction. She sees a man emotionally orbiting around her existence. And this is why leadership changes everything, because leadership instantly puts you back in your natural masculine energy, where your focus returns to your mission, your standards, your purpose, your goals, your life. And now, instead of chasing emotional certainty from her, you become emotionally certain within yourself, and that changes how she sees you. Because women constantly watch how a man handles uncertainty, pressure, delayed gratification, silence, inconvenience, and disappointment, because these moments reveal who he truly is underneath the performance. And most men collapse during these moments because they have spent years building external success while neglecting emotional discipline. And emotional discipline is one of the most powerful traits a man can build, because once you stop reacting emotionally to every small situation, your mind becomes clearer, your presence becomes stronger, your decisions become sharper, and women begin sensing that you are not easily controlled by emotions, attention, beauty, or desire. And this is what creates that rare energy younger women become deeply drawn toward, because most men today are emotionally impulsive, attention-addicted, approval-seeking, and easily manipulated. So the moment she meets a man who stays composed, decisive, focused, and emotionally stable, he immediately stands out from the crowd without even trying. Number 2, read her reactions. Younger women constantly watch how you respond under pressure. Sometimes she teases you, sometimes she mentions other men, sometimes she challenges your age. She's paying attention to your reaction. Most men become defensive or try to prove themselves. Strong men stay playful and unaffected. When you handle pressure without losing composure, she starts seeing you as emotionally strong. And emotional strength is one of the biggest attraction triggers for women. Most men completely misunderstand what is happening during these moments because they think attraction is built through saying the perfect words, when in reality, attraction is built through emotional control and how you respond during uncomfortable situations. Because women naturally create emotional tension to see what kind of man you really are underneath the surface. And this is where many men expose weakness without even realizing it, because the second she says something slightly disrespectful or emotionally provoking, they immediately become reactive, defensive, frustrated, jealous, emotional, needy, or eager to prove themselves. And all of this instantly lowers her attraction, because she now realizes your emotional state is easy to influence. And many men hate hearing this because deep down, they believe being emotional and overly expressive makes them more attractive, when most of the time it simply makes them easier to control. And the painful truth many men refuse to accept is that women often lose respect for men. They can emotionally manipulate too easily because attraction is deeply connected to emotional stability and self-control. And this is why so many men get trapped in toxic emotional cycles, where one day she gives attention, the next day she becomes distant. Then suddenly she returns again with warmth and affection, and instead of recognizing the pattern, they become emotionally dependent on those temporary moments of validation, like someone starving for attention, and this slowly destroys their confidence, because now their happiness rises and falls based on her behavior. And when a man reaches that point, he stops thinking clearly because emotions begin controlling his decisions. And once emotions control your decisions, your standards disappear, your discipline disappears, your self-respect weakens, and suddenly you tolerate behavior you never thought you would tolerate because you become afraid of losing her attention. And this is where Stoic principles become life-changing for men, because Stoicism teaches emotional discipline, emotional endurance, patience, restraint, and clarity during difficult moments. It teaches a man to separate emotions from actions so he does not become impulsive every time life becomes uncomfortable. And this principle alone transforms dating, because many men sabotage themselves simply because they react too quickly to temporary emotions. They send emotional texts late at night. They seek reassurance. They over-explain themselves. They panic when she becomes distant. And all of this communicates weakness because it reveals a lack of emotional control. And women notice emotional weakness faster than men realize because women are highly sensitive to behavioral shifts. They notice when your confidence becomes unstable. They notice when your mood changes based on them. And once she notices that your emotional state depends on her actions, she unconsciously starts losing attraction because she no longer sees a grounded man. She sees someone emotionally seeking stability through her approval. And this is why emotional restraint is powerful, because restraint demonstrates self-control, and self-control demonstrates strength, and strength creates attraction. Because strong men do not emotionally collapse every time life becomes uncertain, they understand that uncertainty is part of life. Silence is part of life. Disappointment is part of life. Delayed gratification is part of life, and they refuse to lose themselves emotionally over temporary discomfort. And many men watching this right now are exhausted mentally because they have spent years chasing validation from women while abandoning themselves in the process, constantly trying to earn affection, constantly trying to prove their worth, constantly trying to become enough for people who themselves are often emotionally unstable and confused. And eventually a man reaches a point where he realizes he cannot build peace by emotionally depending on people whose emotions constantly change. Because true peace begins when a man builds emotional control within himself, instead of searching for emotional certainty from women. And once you truly understand this, your entire dating life changes, because now you stop reacting emotionally to every situation and start observing people calmly, clearly, and rationally. And that calm, grounded energy instantly makes you stand out, because emotional discipline has become extremely rare in men today. Most men never develop this level of emotional discipline because nobody teaches them how to control their mind, their emotions, and their reactions around women, which is exactly why I created the Stoic Relationship Blueprint for Men, an ebook filled with timeless Stoic principles that immediately change the way you think, act, and carry yourself in relationships. And the powerful part is that this knowledge becomes yours forever, because once you own it, you can return to it any time you need clarity, strength, discipline, or direction during difficult moments in your life. The audiobook version is now finally available as well, which means you can listen to this life-changing wisdom while taking a walk, driving, training, jogging, or sitting alone reflecting on your life, allowing these principles to slowly reshape your mindset day by day until emotional control becomes part of who you are instead of something you struggle to maintain temporarily. And in the coming weeks, I'm also launching the Stoic Relationship Blueprint course for men, where I go even deeper into emotional discipline, masculine energy, relationships, self-control, attraction, and mental strength. So comment Blueprint right now if you want early access before everyone else, because the men who master these principles completely transform the direction of their lives. Number 3. Create playful tension. Attraction grows through playful tension, not through serious interviews or long explanations. Flirting matters, teasing matters, mystery matters. Instead of trying to impress her, confident men create fun emotional moments. They challenge her a little. They joke with confidence. They make conversations feel exciting and unpredictable. That playful energy creates chemistry fast. Most men destroy attraction because they turn every interaction with a woman into an approval interview where they desperately try to appear impressive, agreeable, polite, safe, and emotionally available from the very beginning. And what they do not understand is that this behavior removes all emotional excitement from the interaction, because attraction is emotional before it is logical. And many men mistakenly believe women become attracted through facts, achievements, explanations, or constant compliments, when in reality women become attracted through emotional experiences and emotional tension. And this is why playful energy matters so much, because playful energy creates emotional movement, while seriousness creates emotional heaviness. And many men become overly serious around attractive younger women because they become intimidated by beauty and start placing her above themselves psychologically. And once that happens, they stop behaving naturally. They overthink every sentence. They become careful, predictable, filtered, and emotionally stiff. And she immediately senses it because women are extremely good at detecting nervous energy and hidden insecurity. And this is exactly why many men end up becoming the nice, safe older guy instead of becoming the man she genuinely desires, because safety without emotional excitement rarely creates strong attraction. And many men hate hearing this because they spent years believing that being endlessly accommodating and emotionally available would automatically create loyalty and attraction, when often it simply creates emotional boredom. And this is why playful tension is so powerful, because playful tension creates uncertainty, curiosity, emotional spikes, and anticipation. And anticipation is one of the strongest emotional experiences in attraction, because the human mind naturally becomes obsessed with uncertainty, and women are no different. Which is why mystery matters, because mystery creates curiosity, and curiosity keeps emotional investment alive. And this does not mean playing manipulative games or pretending not to care. It means having enough self-respect and emotional control that you do not immediately reveal your entire emotional world to someone who has not earned that level of access yet. And many men struggle with this because loneliness pushes them to emotionally attach too quickly, especially after divorce, heartbreak, years without intimacy, or years of emotional isolation. So the moment a younger woman gives them attention, they begin emotionally fantasizing about the future immediately. They overshare, overinvest, overcommit, and emotionally rush the entire process because they are starving for connection. And sadly, this often destroys the attraction they desperately wanted, because emotional desperation is visible no matter how hard a man tries to hide it. And women notice it instantly through behavior patterns, through overavailability, through emotional intensity too early, through constant texting, through excessive compliments, through seeking reassurance. And once she notices you are becoming emotionally attached too quickly, the emotional dynamic changes, because now she feels psychological pressure instead of emotional excitement. And this is why Stoic discipline becomes so valuable for men, because Stoicism teaches patience, emotional restraint, self-awareness, and internal stability. It teaches a man to enjoy moments without becoming consumed by them emotionally. It teaches him to remain grounded while emotions rise around him, and this creates an incredibly attractive presence, because grounded men create emotional safety while still maintaining masculine unpredictability and emotional depth. And that combination is extremely rare, because most men today either become emotionally cold or emotionally needy with very little balance in between. And balance is what creates powerful masculine energy, because balanced men can flirt without becoming desperate, lead without becoming controlling, care without losing themselves, and enjoy women without emotionally depending on them for self-worth. And once a man truly understands this, he stops chasing validation through women and starts building a life so grounded, disciplined, purposeful, and emotionally stable that women naturally become drawn into his world, because his energy no longer says, "Please choose me." His energy says, "This is who I am," and that shift changes everything. Number 4, keep your own purpose. One of the biggest mistakes older men make is making the woman their entire focus. Attractive men already have a full life, goals, business, passions, friends, direction. A younger woman becomes attracted when she feels like she's entering your world, not becoming your whole world. Purpose creates natural confidence, and confidence creates attraction. Most men slowly lose themselves the moment they become emotionally attached to a woman, because instead of continuing to build their life with discipline and focus, they begin revolving around her attention, her moods, her availability, and her approval. And they do this without even realizing it at first, because it starts with small sacrifices that seem harmless in the moment, canceling plans to be available for her, ignoring responsibilities to reply instantly, neglecting fitness, neglecting business goals, abandoning hobbies, disconnecting from friends, losing structure, losing discipline, losing momentum, and eventually waking up one day realizing their entire emotional state now depends on a woman whose emotions change constantly. And this is exactly why so many men become mentally drained in relationships, because they slowly abandon themselves trying to maintain someone else's attention. And the painful truth many men avoid confronting is that women often lose attraction the moment a man makes her the center of his existence, because what attracted her in the beginning was his independence, his ambition, his grounded energy, his mission, his self-control, his life. And once he abandons those things to emotionally orbit around her, she subconsciously loses respect, because women are naturally drawn toward men who are focused on something bigger than emotional dependency. And this is why purpose is not just important for success. Purpose is critical for masculine stability, because purpose keeps a man grounded when emotions become intense. Purpose protects a man from emotional impulsiveness. Purpose gives structure to his life, and structure creates peace, because a man without purpose becomes vulnerable to emotional chaos very quickly. And many men watching this right now understand exactly what this looks like, because they have experienced moments where a woman enters their life and suddenly their routines disappear, their motivation drops, their discipline weakens, and their emotional stability becomes fragile, because now their happiness depends on whether she gives attention or withdraws it. And the frightening part is how quickly this happens, because emotional attachment can slowly consume a man's identity if he lacks self-awareness and discipline. And this is why Stoic principles matter deeply, because Stoicism teaches a man to remain connected to his values and responsibilities regardless of emotional distractions. It teaches him that discipline matters more than temporary emotions. It teaches him to control his desires instead of becoming controlled by them. And this is where many men fail, because they confuse emotional intensity with genuine connection. They become intoxicated by attention, beauty, intimacy, and validation. And in that emotional state, they start neglecting the very things that made them attractive in the first place. And women notice this shift quickly, because women naturally observe behavioral consistency. They notice when your standards weaken. They notice when your priorities change. They notice when your emotional balance becomes unstable. And once she sees that your entire life revolves around her, she begins pulling away, because emotional dependency creates pressure, while purpose creates attraction. And many men struggle to accept this, because they were raised believing that proving devotion through self-sacrifice would strengthen attraction, when in reality, excessive self-sacrifice often destroys respect, because it communicates scarcity, emotional dependence, and lack of self-worth. And this is why purpose transforms a man, because purpose forces him to build a life that exists independently of women, independently of validation, independently of temporary emotional highs. And when a man builds that kind of life, his confidence becomes natural instead of performative, because now his confidence is rooted in discipline, accomplishments, resilience, and self-respect rather than female approval. And this changes everything, because women can instantly sense the difference between a man who needs attention to feel valuable and a man who values himself regardless of attention. And the second type of man becomes deeply attractive, because his energy communicates emotional freedom, emotional stability, and internal strength. And many men spend years chasing confidence through women, when real confidence is built through mastering themselves, mastering their habits, mastering their emotions, mastering their mind, and becoming disciplined enough to continue moving forward regardless of emotional distractions. And this is why purpose is so powerful, because purpose creates emotional immunity against many of the situations that emotionally destroy other men. Because when your life has direction, you stop obsessing over every text, every delay, every mood shift, every mixed signal, and instead of becoming emotionally consumed by women, you start enjoying women while remaining connected to yourself. And that balance is what creates powerful masculine energy, because a grounded man enjoys relationships without losing his identity inside them. And many men have never experienced this because they spent most of their lives emotionally chasing validation, trying to earn love, trying to become enough, trying to prove value to people who themselves are emotionally inconsistent. And eventually, a man reaches a point where he realizes peace cannot exist in a life built around emotional dependency, because true peace comes from purpose, discipline, self-control, and internal stability. And once a man understands this, his entire life changes, because now women become part of his life instead of becoming his entire emotional foundation. And ironically, this is often the exact moment women become far more attracted to him, because his energy becomes grounded, disciplined, emotionally free, and deeply masculine. Number 5. Stay emotionally grounded. Younger women often bring emotional intensity, mood swings, mixed signals, hot and cold behavior. Weak men get emotionally pulled into that chaos. Strong men stay grounded. They don't panic over texts. They don't lose control over small situations. They stay steady. That emotional stability makes a woman feel secure around you, and security builds deep attraction. Most men underestimate how emotionally destructive it becomes when they allow a woman's behavior to control their internal state, because what starts as attraction slowly turns into emotional instability, anxiety, overthinking, sleepless nights, obsessive thoughts, and emotional exhaustion. And many men live trapped in this cycle for years because they never learn how to separate their emotions from external situations. So every delayed response ruins their mood. Every shift in her energy affects their confidence. Every disagreement destroys their peace. And over time, they become emotionally fragile without realizing it, because they slowly hand over control of their mind to someone else. And this is exactly why emotional grounding is one of the most important traits a man can develop, because life constantly tests emotional discipline through uncertainty, disappointment, silence, temptation, ego, attachment, and emotional discomfort. And many men fail these moments because nobody taught them how to sit calmly inside discomfort without reacting impulsively. So instead, they chase distractions, seek reassurance, overreact emotionally, or lose themselves completely trying to regain emotional certainty from women. And women often intensify this problem because many women operate emotionally moment to moment. One day she is affectionate, attentive, warm, and emotionally invested. Then suddenly she becomes distant, irritated, cold, and difficult to understand. And men who lack emotional grounding become mentally consumed, trying to decode every emotional shift, while slowly losing their own emotional balance in the process. And this is where many men unknowingly destroy themselves, because instead of remaining calm and observing reality clearly, they emotionally spiral and begin making weak decisions driven by panic, attachment, and fear of losing attention. And once a man reaches that emotional state, he becomes easy to manipulate, because emotionally reactive people are always easier to control. And many men refuse to confront this truth because they want to believe emotional intensity equals genuine connection, when often emotional intensity simply reveals emotional instability and lack of self-control. And this is why Stoic discipline becomes life-changing, because Stoicism teaches a man to remain calm during uncertainty, to observe emotions without becoming consumed by them, to focus only on what he controls, and to stop seeking emotional stability through external validation. And this principle alone can completely transform a man's dating life, because many men suffer not because women are complicated, but because they themselves have never mastered emotional discipline. And emotional discipline changes everything, because once a man becomes emotionally grounded, he stops reacting impulsively to temporary situations. He stops chasing reassurance. He stops becoming emotionally dependent on female attention, and instead he develops inner peace rooted in self-control and clarity. And this creates an incredibly powerful presence, because grounded men become emotionally difficult to shake. And women notice this immediately, because emotional stability is rare today. Many men are emotionally impulsive, reactive, attention-addicted, validation-seeking, and mentally weak under pressure. So the moment she encounters a man who remains composed regardless of emotional tension, she instinctively views him differently, because his presence communicates strength, safety, and control. And this does not mean becoming cold, emotionless, or detached from life. It means refusing to let temporary emotions control your actions, because emotional impulsiveness destroys more relationships, more opportunities, more peace, and more self-respect than most men realize. And many men spend years trapped in emotional cycles because they never learn how to sit with discomfort calmly. They constantly need stimulation, reassurance, attention, affection, or emotional certainty to feel stable. And this dependence slowly weakens their confidence, because confidence built on external validation is always fragile. And eventually life forces a man to confront himself honestly, because there comes a point where he realizes no woman can permanently fix the emptiness created by lack of discipline, lack of purpose, and lack of emotional control. And this realization becomes transformative, because now, instead of chasing emotional certainty through women, he begins building emotional certainty within himself. And that shift changes his entire presence, because now he stops overreacting, stops overthinking, stops emotionally collapsing during uncertainty, and starts moving through life with calmness, discipline, patience, and emotional clarity. And ironically, this grounded energy often creates far stronger attraction, because women naturally trust men who trust themselves. Women naturally gravitate toward men who remain steady under pressure, and many men finally begin transforming their lives the moment they understand that emotional control is not weakness. Emotional control is power, because the man who controls himself becomes impossible to emotionally dominate, impossible to mentally break, and impossible to manipulate through temporary emotional games. And once a man truly reaches that level of emotional grounding, his entire life changes, because now he no longer lives emotionally enslaved to attention, validation, or unstable relationships. He becomes internally free, and that freedom becomes one of the most attractive qualities a man can possess. Society trains men to become emotionally weak, approval-addicted, easy to manipulate, and completely disconnected from their masculine core, because a disciplined man who controls his emotions, understands women, and thinks clearly becomes almost impossible to control, which is exactly why the Stoic relationship blueprint for men is changing lives right now through timeless Stoic principles that immediately transform the way you think, act, date, and carry yourself as a man. And the audiobook version is now available too, so you can listen to this life-changing knowledge while walking, driving, training, or sitting alone, rebuilding your mind in silence. And it's all linked in the comments below. I'm also currently building the Stoic Relationship Blueprint course, launching in the coming weeks, where I'll take men even deeper into emotional discipline, masculine energy, relationships, self-control, and mental strength in a way society never teaches, because emotionally grounded men stop begging for validation and start taking control of their lives again. Comment Inner Power if you're ready to grab the ebook, and like and subscribe right now to help more men wake up to these truths before they waste years chasing people, losing themselves, and living emotionally trapped without ever understanding why.